on the track. You on the track.
sisters in Islam, if the sun wants to play the role of the moon, and the moon wants to play the role of the sun, what happens? You have an eclipse. You have an eclipse. Either a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. What happens when the eclipse happens? The effect of the sun is weakened. The effect of the moon is weakened. And the stars are nowhere to be seen. In the home, when the father wants to be the mother, and the mother wants to be the father, you know what happens? You have an eclipse. It's called the social eclipse. And when this happens, the effect of the father is not felt, the effect of the mother isn't felt, and the children suffer the most.
Building, what's going on, y'all? Hey, you know what's crazy? With the hair strap, right? That's Mr. He said and Mrs. She said, right? I could watch them if it's only one of them. So like if Mr. He said go live and he up there by himself, or he got a panel going on, I could watch it. If Mrs. She said is up there doing Shame Sundays by herself, I can watch it. If they up there together, that shit is triggering. That shit is triggering like a motherfucker. I'll be looking like this happy ass, goddamn flowers and joy ass couple. While the rest of us out here going through the flux, you know what I'm saying? Puss ass relationship problems and shit. And they up there like goddamn it, Huey P. Newton and Angela, you know what I'm saying, on some motherfucking fight it, fight the power, fight it, fight the power, looking all cute and shit. Y'all know they say when people been together for a long time, they start looking alike and shit, right? They be having the same mannerisms and shit, laughing the same and shit. And some be funny and shit, and they be like laughing together, like, like, no, I cannot watch this shit. Turn. What else is on? It's too much happiness on the motherfucking screen right now. Okay? This is a level of happiness that the universe is not allowing me to achieve. I cannot watch this shit anymore. Where is the death and destruction at? Where is the dysfunction? I need that. And then I just go over to Fatty or Aaron channel.
All right.
What up, though?
He said, she said, it's Tuesday.
What's poppin'?
Welcome. He said, she said, it's in the building. Most conscious. Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. What's good?
Well, it's only Tuesday. Just started the week.
Yes,
Right?
indeed.
Had a nice day off yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
All right, shout out to me for y'all getting the day off from
Happy birthday, brother. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all ready for an interesting episode today. It is Tuesday. It's Conscious Parenting Tuesday. We usually focus on the little ones, but today we focusing on the relationship. You see, the name relationships matter because the kids matter, but the relationship the friendship, the partnership, the camaraderie,
yes.
all of that
The
matters
team player.
So we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Got some interesting information to get to, and a really long video. Everybody's gonna be touching on this one in the near future, the upcoming future. This one is something that everybody's probably gonna be talking about, and maybe should be. We're gonna talk about it, so stay tuned. Hope you guys had an amazing start to your week.
Yes, yes.
Mrs., what's poppin'? How are you, beautiful? We had a stream, we had a little bit of fun, and you got a little bit of cash. Birthday love. So that was always dope.
You
So,
said
yeah,
that. Absolutely. You got an event coming up, so
yeah, glad you're doing
you
good.
all appreciate it.
No doubt. How y'all doing out there? What's going on in the chat? Yeah, you know how
I tell you.
You know. She said, let's go. Week.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Spicy season.
I'm ready. We outside. She said, tonight, I'm in the house.
Okay. That'll work.
Thank you very much.
Vote.
More fire. Gunshot. More fire. Shout out to you, Lady Nicole. We appreciate you. Moderation Gang is in the building, so y'all behave yourself. Sean White is in the building. Overall as well. Friends and Facebook is in the building tonight. So we're talking Facebook. That's from Mark and like Fly. Comment. Send it to a conscious parent. Aspiring conscious parent. Future conscious parent. Present conscious parent.
Absolutely.
Because consciousness is key in relationships and in parenting. We're going to see tonight.
On that PCP.
Get hooked. Almond Eyes is in the building. Our lioness is pulling in.
Yes, welcome.
She said, hey, y'all.
Sarah is in the
Hey, y'all.
building.
Here from North Carolina. Sarah is in.
I'm from New York. It's like, you said something.
You're a city girl.
Yeah.
Sarah's in the building. She said, good evening, family. Good evening, everyone in the chat and popping in. Mrs. is in the building. Moderation Gang is in the building.
Welcome.
Johnny Blaze in the building.
Welcome.
What up, JB?
Yes, welcome.
What's popping? Hope all is well.
The Black Man Unfiltered is in the building.
BMU in the building. Hold up. Let's see.
Thank you.
We need it up and running. That's a webcam.
Yeah. How about now? How we sounding now?
1 2 1 2.
Is that a little bit better?
We sorry for the muffled mouth. We don't like that.
We don't want
Cocky
that.
mouth, dry mouth.
We don't want that. You got my ass ducking over here with all them gunshots. We city people, man. That's how we, you know, sometimes we needed to. We can lighten it up for you, though. Little karate chop. How's the sound now? You guys let us know how the sound is. Hopefully it is adequate. We don't sound too muffled.
Right. We don't want that. Some messages need to be clear.
Checking all of my controls over here. Relationships matter, Mrs. Harris.
Yeah.
And what I have is I don't got a whole bunch of title cards and things to read today.
Right.
Shout out to the quote nature on Instagram. That's where we're going to get this information. And also on TikTok, we have mrhesaid. She has a crazy series called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And we're going to talk about that tonight because
Plenty of
relationships matter
parts.
before, during, and after. Is really, you know, the conversation we're going to have tonight. They don't matter in just one aspect either.
Right.
Before, middle, and after is going to be important. So let's go ahead and let me show y'all what I got geared up. I got some quotes from that page I just told you guys that was on Instagram. The quote nature, amazing content creators.
Nature.
Always got some great information you can build on. And I'm going to share a screen with you guys. You tell me what y'all think.
And of course, you might not agree with everything.
Of course.
You know.
Before you get married. Now I said before. Remember? Before, during your relationship, and after, it matters.
Absolutely.
Consciousness is going to matter. Parenting, consciousness matters. So we're going to take a look at this list. You guys tell me what you think. Before you get married, Mrs. Harris, you should discuss bills.
Yes. Discuss them bills.
Parenting styles. Credit.
Right.
Debts. Religion. How to deal with family.
Right.
What beliefs will be instilled in your children.
Yes.
Childhood traumas. Sexual expectations. Partner expectations. Financial expectations. Family health history. Mental health history. Bucket list. Dream home. Careers in education. Political views, and whatever else comes to mind. What do you guys think about the list? What do you think about that list, Mrs. Harris?
That's a good list. That's a good list for, you know, conversation.
Okay.
And not just for discussion. You should watch. You should watch how the person financially handles themselves with money.
You ain't lying.
You understand? You got to watch how they behave around other people's children. You know, if they have nieces and nephews, you know, godchildren, whatever the case may be, they may even have a child. So pay attention to that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good list. Credit. Now, when we was growing up 20-something years ago, we wasn't talking about credit. I don't know. But that is absolutely something to be talking about. You know, you want to know where somebody stands. What do you guys think about that?
What do you guys think about this list?
All them
Discussing
expectations.
bills, absolutely. We got to discuss finances, how we deal with them. Do you pay bills in the beginning of the month, the middle of the month? Are you the type to lag behind? Oh, it's okay. We're going to pay just the minimum due and all the rest of all of that shit. Parenting styles, discipline.
Right.
You want whoopings. I don't want whoopings, vice versa.
And that's something to really consider, especially if neither has children. You guys are first time at all. So it absolutely needs to be a conversation of expectations.
Yep.
Because when it happens, you know, the reactive, this is where the fighting and arguing comes in, because I thought you should have known. You know, I thought you should have knew.
Okay.
We should just know these things. It's my way or the highway. These my kids. I think I know better than you. Da 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 da. It's just all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, absolutely. You should know what type of parent you are. There's 4 parenting styles, so you can Google it and check it out. Go over it with yourself and see which one you fit into. You might bounce back and forth from one to another, but just know that they exist. It is something that exists.
Okay. Okay. Sarah said, "Oh my God, y'all, that's what I'm talking about." Sean White laughing. Don't laugh at us. Be nice. I said she lying. Oh Lord, okay. Let's get to it, y'all. It's gonna be one of them nights, everything. It's gonna be one of them nights.
Type of 2B series.
Too much of that doesn't make sense. That shit is wild, Harmonize.
You're welcome to join us.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Child.
I'm not sure that's it right there.
I don't make
I don't
most
want
of
to go
it.
divulging no sensitive information.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Karma Coleon is in the building.
Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
sis,
Peace
sending
to the
love and
gods
light
and
to
the
my
earth,
sister.
sending love.
We love you over
light
here.
to Karma Coleon.
Yes, man.
Hope you're doing well.
Baby.
Much love to you.
Absolutely. This is an amazing list. Okay.
We're going with this list.
Totally agree. Then the marriage won't have no surprises. You are
It'll
absolutely
definitely
right.
still be some surprises.
Of course.
You know, it has to be expected. I think young people or modern day people expect marriage to be perfect and everything is supposed to go smooth. And, you know, the first sign of any type of rockiness, they're ready to jump ship. And that's not how it should be. You know, conversations need to happen. Grace needs to be shown, understanding, you know, a level of listening.
Indeed.
And consideration.
Indeed. So, you know,
Relationship.
like we say, tonight, the title of this stream is Relationships Matter Before, During, and After. And like that list, the things you should discuss maybe while in a relationship, dating, courting, do that because it could look different on the other side of the spectrum.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And
What you guys think?
Brother Muhammad
Let's
is in the
take
building.
a second.
Welcome.
Just to pause right there. Oz Blicky in the building. What up, boss? My brother is in the building. He said, what up, suckers?
Job,
Turkeys. So what's good, job, turkeys? He said it's too close to Thanksgiving for y'all to be some Shout out to Oz Blicky, man. What up, bro? I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to come up and have some fun.
Thanks, Ma. Mommy said our sound is good now.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for letting us know about the sound. We appreciate you. Shout out to Mommy on the check-in. Hey, Ma. How's that weather? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good start to your week. Muhammad said, what up, suckers?
Man.
He said, happy belated birthday to the queen.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
This is a whole Tubi story.
I swear. I'm with Harmonize on this one. It's just, okay.
The laugh was pertaining to the shot sounds. We with you. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good, Sean. We just joking up here, man. We have fun. We cut up. Hopefully we get a laugh. We get some information. We may hear something that we never heard before and dive a little further into it. But this is crazy. Who did she marry? What do you guys think about having two profiles?
His side.
Of course you want to hear Mrs. Harris want to hear his side. He didn't run
Great.
She the one that ran the TikTok, Mrs. Harris.
I'm gonna have everybody going.
Yeah. She beat him. She said, I win. I'm first. I get to tell my story. Let me tell my story. Well, is this thing on?
Child.
So this is Who the F Did I Marry? Two profiles, two different pictures.
Two different pictures.
She didn't notice, and like she said, we later joked that you didn't even notice my two different profiles on Tinder and Backpage. Damn. Let's keep going.
And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because
What about blind? Forget colorblind. Blind. The Tinder profile, the back page profile, the two different pics.
It just always sounds like the same.
Different pictures.
Stereo.
So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags.
I don't think they matched.
That he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because
it was so many red flags. You would have.
Communication with an exclamation point.
Communication is key. Okay. Everybody thinks they communicate well.
Okay.
Everybody thinks they communicate well. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a great communicator. Yeah. But then the other person on the other side will be like, you withhold a lot of information.
God damn.
What
was you trying to say?
Yeah.
You met in 2020.
Y'all done already. Damn. Pandemic time.
Everybody want to come through. Blaze in the building. Was popping, Blaze? Hope you doing well, sir.
This is a Who the Fuck Did I Marry? That's what it's called?
Is. Who the fuck did I marry?
Who the fuck did I marry?
Mona D is in the building. Hey, sis.
That's right.
That's much better. This woman married someone from Tinder. That you stayed.
Facebook. Okay. Oh, she went further.
Of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents.
Born and raised on the playground was where he spent most of his time. What do you guys think so far? What do you guys think? And this ties in, to our topic tonight because it's relationships matter. And they do. We typically talk about the children and how conscious parenting is really important to help them thrive. but it's also important for us to be conscious in our relationship with each other. We put up a post, to talk about before you get married, some things that you should do, some things that you should discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to continue with this information, with this video. But what do you guys think? What are some other things that need to be addressed before we get into a relationship, while we're in a relationship, and even maybe after we not in the relationship anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL.
Okay. We're going to take a second. Angry Snowman is in the building.
Hey,
What's
now.
popping, my God?
Appreciate you pulling up.
Doing good, having a good start to your week. He said definitely should be making a decision on who's going to end up with the kids, if you have any. That's absolutely a great discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's a hard discussion.
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have that. But he's absolutely right, because there's no guarantee. Once we start having kids, there's no guarantee that we're going to be here with each other. So the logical thing is to have that conversation. So it's not a reactive situation. We know I'm more functional. I'm more this, more disciplined, the financial, and you want to go do this and that. So you'll have that freedom, just make sure you come through. You do what you say you're going to do. And, we can make this work. That conversation absolutely needs to be had.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's a good one. Thank you.
When we get into this relationship, things our relationship need more of. Because again, I said, before we should have some discussions about some things.
Yeah.
Then we get in the relationship. We in it now.
In it.
We
in
should
it to win it,
start
baby.
Working on mechanisms for when we get out of that honeymoon phase, when the kids start to incorporate
good practice
difficulties into our life. Things get a little,
they will.
Family.
Family gets to familying. Okay. You ready?
So here's some things our relationship needs more of. Mrs. Harris?
Oh, man. Making each other laugh. Yes. Giving non-physical compliments. Giving each other space and grace to be human. Yes. Creating more opportunities to nurture each other. Normalizing and accepting that somebody's will be tougher than others, or some days will be tougher than others. Absolutely.
There you go.
Being silly and playing together. Yeah, absolutely. Seeking to understand versus assuming to know. Holy shit. That's a good one. Seeking to understand versus assuming to know. Just ladies,
you gotta stop getting upset with hearing the truth. Go work on your game. Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
Yeah. Not taking everything so seriously or personally. Acknowledging and appreciating the efforts, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Flirting and emotional foreplay. Okay.
He said, she said.
Yes, this is a good list.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah. And ladies need a after baby etiquette. If they're a wife, they need an after baby etiquette on how to continue to manage your time well. with baby, with home, with whatever else is going on, so you don't feel so frustrated with the mate. And that's where the grace comes in.
Talk to him.
You know, that intimacy is important. You know, and managing your time is what needs to happen. Ladies done lost their skills of that. We claim so much pride in being the best at things, but when it comes to managing all of that, it can be a struggle. You know, be more conscious and be aware, you know, and have those conversations, like you said, beforehand, so you're not reactive, and we're being more proactive, because our job is to keep our families together. That's the most important.
You ain't lying.
You know, and nobody wants to be in distress and, you know, abuse and things like that. Now, you didn't sign on for that. So you married a good man. Let's continue to have him be a good man by us inspiring him to continue to be a good man. Shit. Y'all ain't married no miserable son of a suckers. You know what I mean? Unless you did, then that's all. I'm just saying.
God.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. What she's sitting here saying, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, and still kept moving forward. So yeah. Who?
Oh, I know about college.
Yeah,
Dogs, but I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something?
Of course, absolutely, because you know it's too much of I don't know, right? We have these smartphones. Figure it out. Find out. You can't keep saying that, because it's a simple, you know, now you can fill your brain. You can go to YouTube and put it in there, and I'm sure it's something to come up, you know, of what this type of thing is, if it's even something real, and you can earn some money, because, you know, he claims some stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with you, only because it's starting to become repetitive now. She didn't know, you know, initially upon entry, I didn't realize the page and the different, and I didn't know about, you know, arena football. That's a pattern for me. Like I told y'all, nobody wants to sit across on a date to get to know this naive person that don't know about nothing. You heard about Taylor Swift's new song? Now, I don't know about that. I don't care about no white people and their music, and I don't listen to pop culture. And did you see the movie? And I don't go to fucking movies.
I don't care about that.
Telling lies. I don't watch TV because, you know, I don't. You don't know about nothing, do you? What do you know about? Do you know about politics? I don't deal with politics. All of them motherfuckers is crooked, and just the plausible deniability. When you don't care about anything, you don't have to learn about anything. You don't have to grow. You don't have to know.
Right.
You don't have to do anything except continue to live in your fantasy island.
Yeah.
And it's unfair to everybody that has to live in reality, because we all got to function around in this reality.
Right. Goodness gracious.
Let's continue.
Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL. I know about college. Go Dogs. But I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, you know, like, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, you know, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, you know, that's great. You know, you're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and, you know, this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived.
How y'all doing out there? How you doing, Mrs. Harris?
I'm good.
Shout out to my guy Tim on Hank on the check-in.
Yeah, welcome.
Shout out to you, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Hope all is well. Relationships matter, Mrs. Harris. What do you guys think about what she's discussing so far? The reason I stopped it now is because what stood out to me is now she's concerned about what I don't know. Like I told you guys, I noticed that she doesn't know anything. She didn't notice the page. She doesn't know anything about arena football and so on. But now she said, if you don't know anything about such and such, this makes no
that
sense.
metro area.
Why you worrying about what I don't know?
Right.
What I don't know.
Right.
And
Just
why
say-
you
just
worrying
say
about
it was
it?
a 40 fucking minute ride.
You're doing a TikTok. Just do the fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
Worry about
I mean,
the
I'm
stuff
telling
you
you.
don't
It's a
know.
plug, man. It's a plug for a Tubi movie or something.
It's
Drama.
hard enough
Goodness
keeping
gracious.
concentrated, zeroing in on the things you don't know. Don't try to add to it the things that
We
I
don't
don't know too.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date,
I know y'all wonder why he keep playing that. Too many details. She lying.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
I said she lying.
There's a stranger in my house.
God damn. Cheesecake Factory getting all kinds of recognition now. Let's go, Cheesecake. Nothing wrong with no goddamn Cheesecake Factory. Popcorn. Get your popcorn. This is crazy.
Man.
Too many details. My Husband is a Stranger. Starring Sister Clueless.
And premiered this June on
Tubi.
Yep. One day. Crazy.
I like it. Well, he said, damn, what does this lady know? Nothing. Nothing. But I stopped in here because you guys noticed that she said I was excited. I called my friends and said, girls, I got a date. You know, one of those things that we be talking about saying ain't shit, that we really don't need, that, it's okay to have like a keychain and shit, but you really don't need one. Them shits ain't all of that. She got a date with one, and her ass was excited. She was calling her friends saying, girls.
Okay. It gets to the point where you pass up so many of your real blessings, for whatever reason, shallow reasons. You feel like you wasn't ready, whatever the case may be. And then you get to an age where shit, bitch, you better pick somebody.
What the
it gets to that point, right? Because can't be, ain't no damn way.
Friends and was like, I got a date, you know, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures, because, you know, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, you know, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet and he was like, you know, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin and he came to the gas station.
Ladies in the chat, would you have dropped your location for this stranger?
I mean, you were meeting up with him, right?
This is true.
Absolutely. Any help?
Okay.
This car.
Okay. You guys let me know in the chat. Would you guys have dropped your location for this man?
The gas station, got out the car, and I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Oh, also, man,
Sarah said, hell no.
You was already meeting him for a date.
Yeah, you were going to meet at Applebee's.
At a public place. Now you're on the
Cheesecake
side of the
Factory.
road, right? Yeah. See,
Sarah said, hell no. Yeah, you were going to meet at the Cheesecake Factory. Now your car broke down. Send me your location. And the only reason I asked that question is because I listened further and she said, he looked good, y'all. Looked like he did in the pictures. I was so glad he looked good. I'm thinking, and I asked you, Mrs., would you be worried about if this man could possibly be dangerous? He could possibly, you know. And again, and now that I sit here and I say this, I think even further, because if black men were as scary as they say we are, as threatening as they say we are, as mental as they say we are. Okay. For a stranger that had 2 different pages and pictures you would have dropped your location for this stranger. And when he did show up, you worrying about how he looked, not if he is a nice man with a moral character.
She claims she found that out on that first phone call.
When he
talked a lot. He talked so much. So she knew a lot. You know, it's like, okay, when we finally decided to have our first date, you know, so she knew him enough that it was she felt, you know, it's comfortable enough. Middle
like
of the
your
road.
wife said, you are already getting ready to meet up with him to go to have dinner. So why not? Okay. I'm with you. I'm with y'all.
You know, and if you
I apologize. So let me go back to
No. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say something fresh. I don't need to.
Oh, I know that's right.
Okay. The first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20. And he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, you know, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow.
Y'all heard her. She said, I was definitely like, changed my tire for me. Man. I was impressed. Super sexy.
Damn.
Took me, said, girl, you got to get a new tire for this. You can't be riding on no goddamn donut.
What was that?
Can't be riding on no donut.
$260 tire.
Went and paid for the tire. She said, wow. You want to go first or can I?
You can.
Well, thank you.
Ciao.
You know what's crazy is that people ask silly ass questions now, like, what does a stepmother get when she comes into your life? Holy shit. Are y'all serious?
What?
The same question that men used to ask 2 years ago when they said, what advantages does a stepfather get? What does a stepfather actually get? Tangible. What does he get? Don't tell me he gets an amazing child. Because again, that's you. And the child is amazing. He gets nothing. He gets your vagina. That's the real answer. No one wants to say that.
Right.
That's what he gets. So again, now, Stockholm syndrome sets in 2024. They inverse it now. What does a stepmother get when she come into your life?
Right.
Like the answer is nothing.
Yeah, most women will say a disrespectful kid.
And they get everything that she get. Is that even her boyfriend? They had one phone call. The nigga is meeting her where her car break down, changing the tire, following her to the tire spot, paying for the new tire. Damn. That's husband fucking shit. So don't ask us what do women get, because men, we know our job. We've always known our role. Our shit don't change.
Yeah,
y'all can try to act like our shit changes. Our shit don't change. That's why it's so sexy. She said it. She bragged to her friends when she got a date with a man, the ones that y'all say ain't shit. Men ain't shit. But you get excited when that motherfucker come around. You'll drop all of your standards for him, though.
Damn.
You'll let him inside of you.
Take you on this roller coaster that you don't know nothing about.
Y'all some fucking liars. Like Ricky said, y'all are some straight fucking liars. And this shit right here is internet gold. Everybody's going to be reacting to this shit. Because this shit is gold. The bitch is naive as I don't know what. She don't know nothing. You think a man wants to sit across from a woman that don't know nothing and fuck with you like that? Nah, I will drain you of all your resources, you stupid ass. I will make you think I want you because you easily impressionable.
Oh, I know how to impress you.
Easily influenced. Absolutely. Gullible as hell. Child-like mine.
Most of them follow the script of the TV. So it's easy to manipulate.
Y'all got to be
mad because
kidding
they
me.
got manipulated. It's amazing.
Y'all got to be kidding me.
All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the car, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this.
Do boys even say that term? In my mind. She's my sister in my mind. Beyonce is my friend in my mind.
Child.
Not in her mind.
In my mind, I saw it going like this.
In my mind.
He held my hand like a little girl. He made me feel so special.
He held my hand, y'all.
I was convinced this is it.
Over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this. Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies. And we go in, there's a long wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, you know, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real because the first time, you know, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1. Please excuse the hair, but here. All right. Who the fuck did I marry? Part 2. So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we were dating for marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which is kind of up my alley, my sense of humor. It was.
Wait a minute. That stuck out to me. The Mrs. Sue, she said, wait, so you like talking about people?
Right. Not just meeting each other and you sitting around just fucking talking about people? Like that's y'all some unique folks. That's entertaining. That's conversation. That's how we moving with each other.
Wow.
It's attractive.
Shout out to everybody checking in. I see Dr. Nakumbe pull it in.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc, hope
Welcome,
you
Doc.
are doing well. Hope you had a good start to your week. We are talking about relationship matters today. It's Tuesday, so we are reflecting on conscious parenting, but we're reflecting on the relationship today. The two people in the relationship raising these children and how their relationship matters before, during, and after.
Yeah.
And what we're doing now is just reflecting on some tips from an Instagram page that I found. We're going to check out another one before we finish up with this story. Who the F did I marry?
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. Mrs. Harris, what do you think so far?
Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot to listen to. It's kind of draining to hear it all. You know, because like you said, it's just way too much. It's too much information. Let's go. What the fuck done happened? Like you were convinced he was the man of your dreams, and he turned out to not be. You know, in a short time.
Indeed.
So
in a relationship, there's relationship truths. You wanna
relationship truths. Number 1, no matter how busy you are, if you are genuinely interested in a person, you will find the time for them. Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Yes.
I wouldn't disagree.
Number 2, people don't break up anymore. One person acts like an asshole till the other person can't take it anymore and then walk away. This is
Damn.
Oh, God damn. That shit sounds. Who-wee. Let that sink in. Number 2.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Number 3. You can't determine a person's loyalty. It does not matter how loyal you are to the other person. It does not mean they will be loyal in return. Yeah, it don't matter how loyal you are.
Relationships nowadays are tougher. Texting makes it easier for people to hide and play games. If a person wants to genuinely get to you, they should call you, not continuously text.
Yes, absolutely. Remember, a person's effort is a reflection of how they feel about you and how much they are interested in you. A lot of relationships end because people stop doing the things they did to get you in the first place.
He said, she said.
Yeah, a lot of that sounds pretty familiar.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, relationship truths.
Let's tap in on these comments, see what they're talking about.
Comments. I'm looking at the comments in the girls' thing. It says, I Googled the arena football and the occupation went bankrupt in 2018.
Damn.
So, but he said he played before. I don't know if he was playing right now, but like I said, that money was already earned. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
They love to move the goalposts and deflect. You are not lying. 100, son. 100.
Okay.
Kid in the candy store.
Acting like a kid in the candy store.
Did have a song called In My Mind.
Damn, in my mind.
Doc is in the building. He could have been a serial killer leading her to her demise.
Yeah.
Didn't care. He looked good, girl. Inya is in the building. Hey, Inya, I hope you're doing well.
Hey, Inya.
We're talking about relationship matters today, before, during, and after. This is Who the F Did I Marry?
It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, or excuse me, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know the name of the song. By the time this video posts, I will put the name at the bottom. I can't remember the song. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God.
Played it.
He rolled for that, baby.
Sign. He played the song, right?
He played the song.
Child.
I mean, what's crazy is you pointed out this comment on the side. That was a sign, the John Legend song, but way before the John Legend song. What'd that say?
Yeah, your tire blowing out was the universe trying to stop your ass from eating.
She didn't notice that sign.
No, but you didn't need to see him. That was the tip of the iceberg.
Damn.
So anyway, we ended up sitting in the car talking just about life and experiences until about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me how it was, what it was like living in California, how he went out there. He went to San Diego State. He played football for San Diego State. He talked about how, life, he loved it out there, so he stayed. That's when he joined the company. And then he explained that he also did arena football, but only did it for about 2 or 3 years. He claims that while he was doing arena football, the team that he was on won a championship. But again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about arena football. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, you know, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, you know, he was on that team. Okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, you know, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, you know, he was on that team.
What do you guys think? Again, you know, I pointed out before how the plausible deniability I can't stand it because it leads to stuff like this. I didn't even know they had championships. First of all, when he told you he played arena football, you was like, yeah, well, you know, okay, congratulations on your little football professional job or whatever. The dude said he was a champion. She said that do they even have, I didn't even know they had championships. So again, this is where I come in. I'm the asshole because I would have went in on her. So you do know we play games, right? In this football, even if you don't know arena football, you do know we play games. In the games, there's wins and losses, and you know that we need to find out who's the best for everybody. You know that, right? That is competition, tournament competition. You just don't know anything. And this is the type of people that, you know, plausible deniability can create. If you don't know that teams compete and they have a standing, and within that standing leads to a playoffs, the playoffs leads to a championship, the championship leads to a champion until the next go round. If you don't know that, I don't want to be married to you. Or does she think that all of those grown men get participation trophies for being professional athletes? You get a trophy, you get a trophy. What do you actually think? I told you guys I work in, you know, financial world, you know, 3 different credit unions, like simultaneously. 3 different ones. I'm flipping and bouncing, and I do like loss mitigation. So I'm working like foreclosures and deferments, and people call up all of the time for deferments. And, you know, I have to have a conversation with them. And the conversation goes a lot like this young lady. They say, you know, I wanna get a deferment. I go, okay, let me take a look at your account. Let me see if I could get you a deferment. And look, you know, pull it up. Looks like we gave you a deferment like last month, 2 months ago, whatever, 3 months ago. Oh man, they told me that I could get one, you know, when I call. So my question is, so how many times do you think you can call and ask not to pay your car loan? You thought you could do that for the whole life of your car loan? Just whenever you don't feel like paying it, you just call us and say, I don't feel like paying it, let me get it done. No, I didn't think that. Well, what did you think? Did you think there was a cap number on it? Did you think that? Like, what did you think? Because you obviously didn't read anything. You don't check your online banking. You didn't even read the last deferment that you got, because it tells you. And then that's when I get I just signed it. Wait. So let me ask you. You signed something that you didn't read.
First thing my mama told me as a kid, don't sign when you ain't read. You gotta read it.
And this is just every day. My wife sits right here where we sitting right now, and I'm on the other side of the room on my phone, and she hears me talking to people every day. Sounding like this girl right here. Plausible deniability. When's your due date? Oh, the 24th. No, that's not your due date.
It's not just that. You can introduce yourself and all of that, and it's just quiet. The person on the other end has got a whole explanation. They telling you a whole life story.
Again, like this girl right
sometimes
here.
I'll be like, are they still talking? You look over and be like,
a lot of details.
Yeah.
But a lot of plausible deniability. And this is what this leads to. This is what it leads to. Let's keep going.
So he talked to me about how he worked at Apple. He worked something in the IT area of Apple, but it within the store. Again, it was one of those, it's like when I tell people I used to work at Amazon, I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Wow.
Do y'all hear her? She wasn't even paying attention to her own job. It makes sense why she knows about nothing. She wasn't even paying attention to her own job.
In the IT area of Apple, but it within the store. Again, it was one of those, it's like when I tell people I used to work at Amazon, I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Why? So we talked about all that. We talked deeply into what happened with the ex-wife. It's because I asked. He was not volunteering all this information. So in other words, I get very uncomfortable when men start talking about their ex a lot. That's not what happened. I was asking questions because I was really trying to figure out, okay, is this
She don't like men that talk about their ex.
Yeah, a lot, right? But
so
because he doesn't, and you would like that, right? Yeah. So you ask, you want to hear, you want to hear, and it's a problem when he doesn't share too much, but you don't like it.
God,
holy shit.
I don't like when niggas talk about their woman. So let me ask you about your woman. Yep. But she all wrapped up in the glitter. Talk about it, Sarah. Sean White said, these days, relationships end in chaos. God damn. Shit. Pardon my language, but the words that's coming out of her mouth is the dumbest shit I've heard all week. God. God. Oh, Blaze. Some crazy shit.
Are you ready for a relationship, or are you still missing her? So we talked about that. We talked about my exes. That was a mistake I made because I talked about how I dated at one point in time somebody I worked with. That will come back later. And he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good. Midnight comes and I go home. Yes, I went home. We ended up talking. Mind you, our first date was March 7th. And within about 2.5 weeks, Brian Kemp, our governor, shut Georgia down. We were going to be on lockdown. So during those 2.5 weeks, we talked every day. We went out again at Red Lobster. I remember Red Lobster. But everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? So the question was, are we going to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio type of situation. Like it clearly where he was staying.
Nikki said after two dates,
you want to find out what the fuck you quarantining in your place, quarantining in mine. We gonna sneak and siege. Like, wait a minute.
We're not even
like it's months later. This is March.
Pick up in quarantine.
You know,
fuck out of here.
Holy shit.
Quarantine happened, so now we gotta automatically figure out how we gonna cohabitate together.
He must have hit.
I don't.
God damn it.
I'm not gonna assume. Let her keep talking.
I was like, it's like a studio apartment, but he kept telling me like this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor.
Ladies, do y'all need more than just an email, or is an email good enough for y'all? Mrs. Harris, is an email good enough?
No.
You
And
need-
no,
No?
because anybody can send
You need
that
more than an email?
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn.
She's saying that she's like it's verified proof of
Shit.
anything. Yeah, no.
Okay. You need more than an email. Ladies in the chat, do y'all need more than an email? Let me know.
To help him find a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like, he's not trying to stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry. You know, this should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. Da, 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 da. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was, we're going to quarantine at the studio, or we're going to quarantine in my house? First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment. During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that, just two.
There's the answer to your question, Mrs. Harris. Nothing physical or anything like that. That's what she said. They quarantining.
People who I thought were really on some, all right, let's see if this is going to grow into something. He came to my house. When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. He was in a studio. Now I'm telling you guys all of this in order of how it happened. So some things I'm probably going to insert what I was thinking and the mistake I made. Can I turn this off? No. Okay, I still need that. And I say that to say that I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. The decision was made, quarantine at my house. So the state went on lockdown. He came and stayed with me in my home. And
ladies, would y'all allow the man you met, very recently move into your home and quarantine with you? Sarah says she's gonna need more than an email. Negro. We gonna need more than an email. Read it. Pull it out and read it. It's real. You could really print it. So it gotta be real, right?
You're foolish, on an adult woman's behalf. Not enough time to get to know somebody, and such a quarantine be enacted, and you say, come on and quarantine in my house. We still gotta go in and out and handle some things, right? So I don't know where the fuck you going. It's just very foolish of a grown woman. Who the hell makes preparations to quarantine with someone they've only known less than a week? Special kind of idiot, right?
Shameful shit.
Even a month, 2 months, 3 months, even. Like, that is too. No. Y'all foolish. So,
Sarah chimed in. She said the lie detector test determined
that was
a lie. Oh, I say y'all gonna open the chat for you? Of course. Come on, man. Come on up.
Hit the link, man. The chat open.
Hit the link.
The chat open.
Hit the link, man. Bring your ass up here, man.
Ciao.
We looking.
Leave my babies alone, man.
Said, where you at, man? Where you at? Sarah needs more than an email. She ain't got no time for that. She said she got smoke. Oh, I said, I got some words. Hell no. She must not have no kids.
No, she ain't got no kids.
Hell
For
to
the situation.
I can't even read that. What did I say?
No.
Fuck, man. Get your ass on, boy. Get your goddamn
Quite foolish.
AOL,
you've got mail.
That used to be the thing.
Your ass had to wait. Dial up. Damn.
The most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me.
Oh, it was shameful?
It was a struggle.
Oh.
That sound like code word.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah, we know better, and then blame him. It's his fault. But you knew better. You knew better. Sound like you knew better, but you ain't had no standards. We say it, we're judging, but you're telling us this.
Telling us.
I mean, damn. Can't make it up.
Because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you.
Don't come
you
for me.
always sit with a guy unless he was your husband.
There you go.
You struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband.
Girl.
And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you, the way I grew up, it was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So there we go.
Yeah. Girl, I don't want to be lonely tonight.
You're lonely now.
I ain't want to be touching myself the whole quarantine. And if I let him go somewhere else, it's dangerous to allow him to come back, right? So I gotta snag this nigga. He got to stay here. Damn, y'all. Shit. How many times she said, and I knew better, shameful. I knew better. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised in the church and, I shouldn't live with no man. And I did it anyway,
Shame.
Fucked up.
Shameful shit.
Because he was tall and fine and he knew how to pump in and out well. Okay.
She said he ain't even hit. He ain't hit.
She lied. You is not committing to no. No, man, you ain't get the pumping and grinding with knowing that dick is good. She is not. Now that's wow. Just too much lies in here, man. Just fudging the truth. She fudging. She ate too much fudge.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
That shit coming out her mouth. God damn it, man.
God damn.
Episode 36, she gonna be like, got y'all.
What's poppin'?
Hey, brother.
Poppin', my guy.
Happy belated, my sister. Sorry I missed it. A little busy.
Oh, don't worry. Send me a cash app.
What's good with you? What's good with you, baby?
Just kidding.
How you doing, man? Everything good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So, do you hear? What do you think about what you've seen so far? Or anything you want to add?
I jumped off for a second, but then I got back on, so I missed the latter portion of what she was talking about. But I did hear her wanted to shack up with somebody. First of all, it's fucking COVID. Fuck out of here. I don't know you like that. 6 feet, nigga. But
it was serious.
Yeah, so
back up.
Yeah, so I'm just here listening right now, trying to catch up.
All right, let's get to it.
And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for my home, and for the most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you the way I grew up. It was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So there we go. So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that?
I said he paid all the bills, but he didn't pay my
Let
car.
me specify. He didn't pay for my car.
Like he was supposed to.
He didn't pay for my insurance, and he didn't pay for my cell phone.
You're not his wife? Goodness gracious.
Girl, please stop the madness. It is a lot of madness. He didn't pay for that stuff, y'all.
He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. He paid the utility bills, and so when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, "Wow, okay, so you got money."
God damn, child.
Right. You see the whole demeanor switch. What was that accent? What was that? Money. Whoa, what is that?
At the time was less than $1,000. He paid the utility bills. And so when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money. And so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And I am not, this is where it's not going to make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills.
Did y'all hear that?
But you was taking care of yourself before he even came along. Why? But you wasn't worrying. Then, there are claims out there. I take care of myself. I do this. Ha 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 ha. And she's like, yes, it felt
intoxicating.
So intoxicating to not have to worry.
Have a man around.
Paying my bills.
They ain't shit. But when they around doing what they do,
it's intoxicating.
That shit is
intoxicating. I looked in.
Damn.
You gotta live, wait, sleep. You gotta pay, wait, sleep.
My check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And I am not, this is where it's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills. It was a wonderful feeling. And so I kind of pushed to the side the fact that, yeah, you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes. Because this.
Three is 2 weeks in.
She don't have to worry for now. 4th. Does that mean we go back to worrying at a point? It's so puzzling because it just sounds like when you're left to your own devices, it's going to be a struggle. Blaze said,
I think she has lost her damn mind.
That's all she was worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Doc said it must be nice.
A man could torture her in that house. Nobody knows.
Girl, please. What happened to Miss Independent?
Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Child.
This was still March.
Still
So
March.
we're living together and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean. And then we have a conversation about house. Is he?
Wait a minute. So he comes into the house, takes over the bills, and he's
And he
helping with
cooks and
cooking
clean?
and cleaning.
Okay.
Okay.
He's still going to buy a house just for him, or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going.
Damn, we met, moved in after about a week and a half. And now the house you said you was buying when we met, is you buying that house for us now? Because you came over here and you stayed with me for what's going on 3 weeks now, goddamn
right.
shit. So that house you planning on buying, that's for us now, right?
Damn, that's shit, y'all. This ain't making her look good. She's talking about don't judge me. None of this makes you look good.
This shit, wow.
None of this makes you look good. This is not looking good in your favor.
This shit, wow.
My
We almost
opinion.
at the end of this this part. It's so
what
many
Doc
damn
said?
parts. Let's get through
She's
this.
accepting
to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County.
Already
What
a baby?
mindset.
Already a baby.
Doc checked in. She accepted the shack up since he was paying the bills. Standards out the window.
Don't forget he fine too.
And you just said it's a baby already.
It's a baby
you buying
already.
This house for us?
She's
Because I
mapping it out.
refuse to have a baby in this county. And she uppity about the county.
She said, he said he was in the marriage mindset. He wants to have a family. They were thinking the same thing. So yeah, let's push this. Like, I'm old. You see her. She ain't a young chicken. She's not a spring chicken.
I won't disagree with that.
So I got to move on this. Now, you the one for me. I's the one for you.
Who the fuck did I marry? He may be asking the same thing. I gotta check his. Gotta check to see if I can find him.
Yeah, let me go find his page. God.
Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there because we are going to try to all of April's bills before April even comes, because this was still March. So we're living together and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean. And then we have a conversation about house. Is he still going to buy a house just for him? Or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So the decision was made, let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what? We're together. I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us. He was like, this is how much I was approved for. That's when he showed me the Chase paperwork.
Okay, we'll stop right there. That was part 2, where he showed her the Chase paperwork. This is wild. And like I said, this fits in with, the conversation that we were having today, because it was relationships matter before, during, and after. And like you guys see, the conversations, the courting stage, the cohabitation stage, All of these things matter, but there may come a time where we're not together no more. We may even break up. So what we want to do is let's discuss 20 micro habits to make your life better. Because whether you with somebody or not, you want a better life.
Absolutely. That's the purpose, I would say.
So again, you know, we come every Tuesday to give parents tips to become more conscious, to add to their toolbox of consciousness, to start the journey on the road to consciousness. And in that, if you study a few of these habits, you may be able to, you know, curate,
make your life a little,
make some course corrections, or just like you just said, make your life a little bit better.
Just a little bit better.
So you want to read those?
Okay.
Drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up in the morning, preferably room temperature. Make your bed as soon as you get out of bed. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for each day. Take a few deep breaths before you start your day. Spend 5 minutes meditating or doing mindful exercises. Set a goal for the day, even if it's a small one. Do one thing each day that makes you happy. Take a 10-15 minute walk each day. Read for 10-15 minutes before bed. Turn off electronic devices 30 minutes before bed. Spend 5-10 minutes stretching in the morning. Yep. What does that say? Smile at yourself in the mirror. Call or text a friend or family member to check in. Listen to a podcast, preferably He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance, Cerebral Saturday, or Shame Sunday. She Said, you know, we here. Audio book during your commute. Practice good posture throughout the day. Let me sit up. Write down your to-do list for the day or the next day. Take a few moments to reflect on your day before going to bed. Practice saying no to change things that don't align with your goals or values. Spend 5 to 10 minutes decluttering or organizing a small area, and practice a random act of kindness of someone else.
Okay.
And thank God for waking your ass up, because you ain't have to.
Talk about it.
Right.
Talk about it. You can add to the list. He said, thank the Most High for waking your punk ass up in the morning.
Open them eyes.
Right.
Straight
Thank you. But some of these books are so
Which one to add to that list? What else, Oz? That was a good one. Good list.
You know, tell your kids, I love you. Tell your spouse, I love you. I'm grateful for you.
Yes.
You know, just, you know, and just be grateful. Just like be grateful. You know what I mean? Be grateful. Because 10 million other people out of 7-8 billion people now didn't wake up. Or didn't make it to the next day, died the day prior. You know what I mean? So, you know, that should have been number one in my opinion, but you know.
Be grateful you woke up.
No doubt.
I agree.
Appreciate that.
Yes. You already want to be on the deed? Damn, she dumb as hell.
She cutting up pictures.
Putting them shits in the scrapbook.
Oh, who you telling this? Who you telling?
Planning a wedding after 3 weeks. It's crazy.
All right, part 3. Who the fuck did I marry? So this is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage or a $750,000 house. So he was.
Yeah, it's called a loan. It's called a loan. It's when you get money from somebody else, and it's not a $750,000 house or a $750,000 mortgage. It's a loan, a mortgage loan for $750,000 to a bank that you have to pay back.
Yeah, you have to pay it back. Yeah.
This maybe have to be clarified for her.
And you know,
She's a little.
What kind of home you trying to buy in Georgia? $750,000. You can get a real nice piece of property down there. You know what I mean?
Three.
Right. So just,
3 homes.
foolishness.
Queen. She want a Queen Sugar plantation, man.
Just because you approve for that don't mean go buy a house that expensive. What the fuck?
Yeah. I learned that shit.
Live outside your means, any? Fuck.
He was like, we can't go over 750. And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football.
Oh, she seemed a little confused right there.
Yeah. So she's like, can you afford? Hold on. If we get married, we probably can. Like, what the fuck? She said, can you afford?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
No, you, huh?
Yeah. She said, can you afford? Wait a minute. We building together. It's called building together. Can we afford it? Damn. All right, go. Sorry.
This is crazy.
Yeah, you good, bro.
I invested my money really well. So he said, I have money that will help pay for the mortgage. He was like, we're good. Like, I'm financially, I am okay. He was like, that's why I'm able to get approved for $750,000 mortgage. So he told me that his money was in different savings accounts. He said he had an account with Chase Bank, he had an account with US Bank, and he had an offshore account. This is what he told me. The offshore account, I was like, why? And he explained something about, the US, the US imposes taxes on.
Whatever he explains, everybody in the chat, do y'all think she gonna understand? Whatever he explains.
Do we care about that part of this fucking story?
Nope.
I'll tell you the first thing I thought of was Kevin Hart's stand-up where he said, the way my bank account is set up, I got a savings account and I got a checking account. You fell for that, stupid.
Money when you have a certain amount in US banks. He was like, so everybody knows that it's smart to have some money in an offshore account. Y'all, look, I live paycheck to paycheck. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I said, so you have the money to pay for a home. I'm also holding in my hand a letter from Chase saying that he was approved for $750,000. So I went off of what I saw. So we contacted a realtor. I won't say his name, but man, if he ever sees this TikTok, I owe this man such an apology. But we contacted a realtor who was based in Cobb County because I was very adamant I wanted to move back to Marietta, Smyrna area in Cobb County, Georgia. He was fine with that. His whole attitude was, you're going to be my wife, happy life. So we met a realtor.
That's the dumbass learned that motto.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
what you got? Come on, cook, brother.
First of all, the next time she put an I in that fucking word, it's no I. So you can tell off jump she not the sharpest knife in the fucking drawer. Really, her. No, there's no I in that word, lady. But sorry. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Shit. He's trying to shoot the lights out in this joint.
Just saying.
Doc said,
this is getting good. It sounds like an episode from Power. 3 different accounts.
I told you, I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
God damn.
He got the papers. He got the papers.
And yet you did not investigate like you would if he was cheating. God
Damn. Bing,
damn.
bong.
Dang.
That's a profound statement right there.
It is, absolutely.
Because you'd have thought that man was cheating. She'd have called her sister, cousins, aunties, best friends.
We're gonna figure this out.
They'd have been looking. They'd have been looking.
Let's go. It looks official. I can't wait.
I just said that to her.
Because I know she got the good wig up.
Anybody can create a letter.
I would find houses that I wanted to tour. Keep in mind that this was COVID. So at the time, we could not tour a home. It would have to be a virtual tour. So this particular realtor, we found a house in Douglasville, Georgia. Not Cobb County, but nevertheless it's in Douglasville. I was fine with Douglasville. So we found a house in Douglasville, Georgia. The realtor did a FaceTime tour of the house. The house was a nice home. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. So we did a FaceTime tour of the home, and the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. I really like the house. I could see myself living there. I could see us living there. I could see us with the kids there.
Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island.
She could see it.
I didn't even know this motherfucker.
I could see us living there. She said 500,000. You gonna pay all the bills? You got this money? My man. She said, we're gonna go with it.
Damn.
I could see this. You and the babies.
This is now April, just for timeline purposes. This is April.
A month.
So he really liked the house. He was like, you know what? We'll put an offer in on the house. He was like, if you like it, because again, it was COVID. We weren't going to be able to see the house in person because the family still lived there. So he said, I'll put an offer in. We'll see if it's accepted. I said, okay. So he puts an offer in. He's telling me he put an offer in. I need to clarify some things he told me and the things that I actually saw. So for this house in Douglasville, he told me he was putting an offer in. The realtor would call me because one thing that the realtor told us, he was like, if the woman likes the house, typically the house is going to get bought. So.
God damn, fellas. That's what we doing?
Those are facts.
Out here.
Is that right, Oz? If the woman likes the house is pretty much sold.
Yeah. Like, I mean, not everybody, but yeah. Like, we found common ground. Like, we found a common ground, but for the most part, it's like, hey, I like this one the best. And so you like, fuck it, all right. From my experience, and apparently his too, whoever this gentleman is.
He's the realtor, right? I mean, you know, he deals with many couples behind him, right? Just is like, would you like it? You like it, baby? Can you see yourself here, Laura? Right? You want to make your wife comfortable, so you keep giving you that gluck.
That gluck.
Stop getting upset with hearing the truth. Go work on your games. Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
Shout out to me.
Well, he kind of dealt with me a bit more than he did my ex-husband. And again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at the time, he was my boyfriend.
God damn.
So the realtor was calling me and it was like, hey, you know, I put the offer in, and what they're asking for is proof of funds. And I know any. I did not know anything at this time about buying a house.
No. Unacceptable. Grown people.
I know what proof of funds sound like.
I know exactly what it is. When you are looking, young adults, when you are looking to buy a house, you find yourself in that position. Do your research. How to buy a house for dummies, for one.
You don't know nothing.
That's unacceptable. It's so
What
unacceptable. You got to have proof of so much when you're buying a house to finish it off. Like, okay.
They have 2 words for it. It's called due diligence. And like I said, I was learning as I went. Like, fuck. Yeah, they want a lot. A lot. Because we need that back. And even when your ass die, nigga, somebody got to pay for this fucking house or else we selling it.
Sure. That's facts.
So I was like, hey, you probably need to talk to him because I'm not even listed on the mortgage. Like, from the paperwork I saw, it was only in his name.
Sarah, so she might wanted to be on the deed, but she didn't get on it.
Well, she can be on the deed and not be on the mortgage.
On the mortgage, that is true.
Thanks.
So she could make her way to the deed, but she not on that goddamn mortgage. We can't talk to you, actually.
So he called him. I guess they talked. I was not there, but I'm assuming that they had talked. So the boyfriend is coming, my ex is coming home saying, yeah, I talked to so-and-so. I sent him over the paperwork. The offer was approved. And they are going to try to do a virtual closing. First, we got to do an inspection. If the inspection goes all well, then we have to do a virtual closing. He also told me that he put down earnest money on the home. He put down, I believe, $5,000. He said, I just.
Where did Ernest get all of this money for a home?
Shut up, you stupid. Ernest, nigga, is Ernest.
Transfer the money over to the realtor's account or whatever, so that it could be earnest money for the house. So I'm just like, okay, great. He was like, so realistically, this is April. We should be able to get in that house by June. Okay, no problem. So this is what he told me. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from the realtor. And the realtor is like, hey, I'm just checking to see what you guys want to do about that house. So I was confused. I'm at work. And I said, I was told that he put an offer in. And the realtor was like, he did? I didn't know that he put an offer in. And I said, well, why wouldn't you know? Like, he told me he put the offer in and he had paid earnest money, $5,000 earnest money. And so the realtor was like, well, let me call him and find out what's going on with that, because I didn't know anything about it. So red flag, of course. So I call him and he in true narcissistic nature, he flips the script and he like goes off. He's like cussing, going off like he shouldn't, excuse me, I have the hiccups. He shouldn't be calling you. If he has a question, he should call me because I'm the one that's on the mortgage. He was like, and now it's going to be an issue. And I said, well, did you put the offer in with him or not? And he said, no, I did not put the offer in with him. I put the offer in with a friend of mine who is a realtor, so I can give him the business.
Wow.
Okay.
That was a plot twist. This is something. It's an extensive story. So this is going to be the last part that we play, and we got a couple of more cards that we can talk about before we get out of here. But the description has the link to where you can find this full story if you have enough time. Carve out some time for it because it's pretty lengthy.
Goodness.
So it's called Who the F Did I Marry? And it's on TikTok. Again, hit the description if you want to find out.
Something.
And Ressa Nessa or something like that. It's Ressa M. Tessa.
Resum Tessa. Yeah, it's unique.
It is very
goodness
unique.
Gracious.
But now he put the offer in with his friend. How would you guys feel about that? Is that, a goalpost move, or is that not what we discussed? Why would we go with a whole nother realtor when we found the house with this guy? Is that,
I mean, if he's the one paying for it all, she really ain't got no say. So that's probably why she was reluctant to really be so involved, right?
Okay.
It's all on him.
Okay.
She can still be placed on the deed, but
What do you think, Oz?
It was okay to withhold that information.
So you getting into buying a house and being on the deed, and you have not looked into the process of home ownership. It's a great point.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for this kind of stupidity.
Right.
$5,000 on this $750,000 house. Home is almost $500K. Still $5,000. Oz, what you think, man?
I can tell you that being a first-time home buyer, bro, like, I didn't want a house that was already built. So, like, we had to, well, not we. I was like, I'm going to purchase the lot first, right? And the developers was like, hey, here's the lot, here's a down payment for us to even put a fucking shovel in the dirt, right? Was like $3,000, okay? And like I said, I learned a lot as I went, because I thought it was just, hey, you pay the $3,000, they start to build your shit. I didn't know anything about like lumber costs and this and costs and that costs and inspections and all this shit. I was learning as I went. And after every fucking thing was done and I'm about to close, because she didn't, like, my wife, she didn't get on this motherfucking deed until she became Mrs. Jones. I can tell you that shit for true. Like, no. Because I don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Right.
Somebody might sweep you off your motherfucking feet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now we're married and half of this is yours. No.
Right.
No. So after all this shit, I paid the earnest money. I did my due diligence. All this shit sees you deal with finance shit, so like they were like, so your closing cost is $4,900, right? Now, after I divulged all of my fucking financial information and told them, hey, I shouldn't have not said this, but it was like all I have was the money to start the bill, the $3,000. And they're like, okay, so at closing, you need $4,900, right? So, funny fucking story. So, my wife was like, okay, I'll give you the $4,900, right? So I told them I have the closing money. Now they're trying to say, well, where'd you get the money from? Right? So they told me, I promise you on all I love, they told me that since I didn't claim that, then I can't use that $5,000. Like, they told me I could not use that shit because they, according to what I said in my financial records, this is all I had.
Right.
So what they said was, what you can do is she can give you that money as a gift.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it had to be a gift from
Absolutely.
her. It could not be our shit stacked. No, it had to be a gift from her. Like, hey, like that's not your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
That's just your friend loaning you money. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
alone, a gift, like you said.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
here's what makes the funny those stories. So at the closing, we're signing. Well, I'm signing all these papers. Blah blah blah. And I had the check for $4,900 right here. Same jacket. I had that bitch right here. If you don't ask, nigga, I'm not gonna give. And after I signed all this shit, and I'm thinking we about to walk out the door, that nigga said, so you got that $4,900. I said, God damn, these motherfuckers don't forget nothing. So I get what our girl is saying, but it's a process. But you gotta fucking like, you have to research your shit and just don't fall into the trap of, oh, he got it. Like, if we're building this together, then it's like, hey, where are we? And that's all she kept asking me for the latter part of like 4 or 5 months. Like, hey, we good. Like, she was asking questions, not just going off of, hey, I got this. She's like, nah, what do you have? But I knew the plan that we had. You know what I'm saying? We were going to get married because I asked her to marry me until we had the fucking house. But there was only one name on that title and that fucking lease. One name. You know what I'm saying? So in the event where we can't afford to pay, then she's not on the hook for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's all right, fuck it. I will sell this bitch and we'll get something smaller, whatever. But I get where old girl is, you know, saying, but she's stupid for not, like, well, not stupid, but just not knowledgeable of things, because she keeps saying realtor with a fucking I, first of all. So that shows you there that, like, you know, she just more into the old shit. He got approved for $750,000. So what she probably thought was, you keep the back end of that loan. You don't. Whatever your house costs, fuck that $750K. If your house is $400,000, they keeping that extra $350. Like, get the fuck out of here. No,
it's just a loan offer. Like, whatever you buy the house for, that's what you're getting, and you still got to come out of pocket for shit. So, like you said, yeah.
And look, that is what I thought when I got my house, my loan approval. I said, all right, okay, I'm gonna get this. But no, the price of the house, no, that's what you get. I thought I got the balance of that shit. I was happy to the mother.
Oh,
And the
Lord.
bitch was like, the bitch was like, yeah, no, that's not how that works, Mr. Jones. Bitch called me Mr. Jones. I was Muhammad. But when it came back down to that balance, she's like, no, Mr. Jones, that's not how that works, stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Shout out to you. Shout out to the house. Shout out to wifey for coming through with that 49 and stash. It is what it is.
Because girls,
but according to her, she ain't had no money for 5 years. But now you got $5,000.
I gotta save it, baby.
Yo, let's read that, man. What'd that say?
Which one?
How to communicate when upset.
I am not mad. I feel hurt by the way I was treated. Just leave me alone. I need some space to cool down and think about what happened. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm upset. Yeah, I learned that as being married to someone who actually cares about my fucking feelings. So yeah, I get it. Nice. I get it.
Okay, Mrs. Harris.
So you have on one side, instead of saying this, try saying this.
How to communicate when upset. Mrs. Harris?
Some good tips in there.
Instead of saying, I am not mad. Try saying, I feel hurt by the way I was treated. Instead of saying, just leave me alone, try saying, I need some space to cool down and think about what happened.
Does that work?
And I'm fine. Say, I am upset. You said, does that work, Oz? You asked?
Yeah. What's that, 3?
Number 3?
No, 2, yeah.
Leave me alone.
Instead of saying, just leave me alone, try saying, I need some space to cool down and think about what happened. I think that will.
Yeah.
I think that
will. That work.
Ever said that? Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And a song, yeah.
Okay. Right. Instead of saying it's all good, try saying, I want to let this go, but I did not like what you did.
Yeah.
Instead of saying there's nothing to talk about, try saying, I don't have the energy to talk about it right now. Please respect this. And finally, instead of saying, don't worry, I'll get over it, try saying, I am not ready to talk about it yet. I will let you know when I am.
Yes.
What you guys think about those?
Yeah, that don't mean 2 weeks later. Shit.
I hear you.
Yeah, those are good.
Like when you say something and me and my wife talk about this shit all the time. When you say stuff, but see how I just said but, it negates everything you just said. That interjection negates everything you fucking just said.
Okay.
But however, like it negates everything you just fucking said. Well, blah 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 blah. But so then you don't really care about what the fuck you're saying to me or how I feel. Because at the end of the day, it might wind up like you trying to what is called gaslight me or some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So that word, but, and I try not to use that word, especially with her, because that's the first thing she say. You said but, so oh god, I'm like, oh lord, here we go.
Yeah, you do. You do, brother. You do.
Nah, me and my baby don't argue.
We got a couple of chime-ins. Hold
Ain't
on,
nothing wrong with a good heated debate.
That's right.
Between couples.
That's true.
Bronze Flat Power God is in the building. Peace, God. Peace to the gods and the earths. Salute to you, man. Hope all is well. Sarah chimed in. She said, usually they want 20 to 30% down. So 5K is not realistic, especially on an almost $500,000 house. 50K I could see. You can't be that naive.
Yeah.
I printed this today. That was probably that last slide that we showed, or maybe even this one. Absolutely. So let's get to this one. Mrs. Harris.
Oh man, things that hurt relationships. Not making an effort to understand the other person's perspective. Yes. Forcing the other person to change or be more like you. Not having a life, hobbies, friends outside the relationship. Not being aware, considerate of each other's emotional triggers. Not apologizing and taking an accountability, being indirect about your wants and needs, not respecting the other person's boundaries, using disrespectful language with each other, contempt, criticism, not making an effort to understand their love language, ignoring each other's history, trauma, and triggers, disengaging during disagreements instead of having difficult conversations.
Facts.
Things that hurt relationships. Yeah.
Facts. What y'all think about that? Us, what you think about things that hurt relationships? Anything on this list? Anything you want to add to it?
It pretty much is on point. Like it speaks to a lot of shit, you know, especially that love language. You know, before me and her got married, her sister's a pastor, and we had to do like a 6-week premarital some shit. I don't fucking know.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's a nice ring to it.
Yeah, and one of the things her sister talked about was love language, and I didn't get it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I have my own like love language. Like we got married August 20th, so since we've been married, every month on the 20th she get flowers. She got flowers today because it's the 20th, right? And like she knows if it, if I wake up early and I rub that back, you know what time it is. That's my love language. You know what it is. I'm not just rubbing your back because I ain't got nothing to do. Wake your ass up because you ain't really sleep because you do the butt wiggle. Your ass ain't sleep. You ain't sleep. Wake up. You know what I mean? So,
oh my God. Mama, oh my God, he beating the feathers off of her. He is y'all need to stop. They not gonna stop. Mama.
We all know those words that piss our significant other the fuck off. We all know and we use them.
No, I don't know what words you're talking about.
Shit, how we?
I know such words.
Yeah, what? Yeah, we all know what pisses us off. We know that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes she get heated, and you just not the B word. You know what I mean? Like never that, but we know, like the thing said, the triggers, not fighting fit, which is an oxymoron because it's a fight. You fucking about being fair for. Don't kick nobody while they down. Can you think of a better time?
Facts.
You gotta fight like heavyweight champs, man. Nothing below the belt. No hitting below the belt.
Right. You know what I mean?
So this is the last list that we have for the evening. I'll go ahead and do the pleasantries and get us out of here. 13 ways to keep the spark alive, you sparkless motherfuckers. Y'all need more fire.
Get a little twinkle.
More fire.
Share life. The big things and the small things.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the beginning times, the butterflies, the excitement. Hold hands. Look your best for your spouse. I'm going to say that one again. Look your best for your spouse.
Yes, sir.
Give little gifts of love. It doesn't mean spending money. Stand by each other. Fight for each other. Hug and kiss your spouse. Public displays can have an impact on your spouse too. Have regular date nights. Spend time doing your spouse hobby. Send texts during the day. Encourage your spouse. Nurture each other's faith. Pray together. Be your spouse's top cheerleader. Life is hard, but the hands and feet of the Most High to your spouse.
Yeah, be the
hands and feet of the Most High to your spouse. Sorry for messing up that last one. Yeah. What you guys think about that one?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, some good stuff in there. Some good tips. I agree with it all. Sprinkle in lots of intimacy. Keep that spark alive. Don't sit around and wait. Don't complain about it. Do something.
True indeed. True indeed. I ain't mad at that. That's what you think, man. What do you think about that?
Great shit. We pray all the time, good times and bad times. Still gotta pray. We have date nights. We just went to go see the Bob Marley movie and shit.
Yeah, I saw y'all decked out too. Y'all look nice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, we make time for each other. Yeah, man, like you have to. You fucking have to, because at the end of the day, if you're not showing love, somebody will.
Indeed.
Don't
Indeed.
fucking
You
else
ain't lying.
will. And you got to know when you leave this house, like, we don't leave the house without saying I love you. We don't leave the house without a kiss. We don't, like, if we have disagreements, we don't go to bed without saying goodnight, I love you, kiss you. But we don't revisit the shit the next fucking morning. Like, no, that was yesterday. So let's just get it out now, because I'm not trying to do it twice. You know what I mean? So
True,
2-3 times.
you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, say whatever you gotta say, good, bad, or indifference, and we move the fuck on. Right? So
That's grown-up stuff.
Grown as fuck.
Indeed. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you.
Shout out to y'all, because y'all like my fucking blueprint of what shit, 25? No,
26 years. 26 years right now.
Fucking years. Like, who the fuck knew? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck knew? Like, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? And we weren't even trying to. We was about to leave, son. We was like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Yeah, maybe about 3-4 more hours.
You know what I mean? So, like, you never know when you find love, and when you find it, you know, like, nurture that shit and respect it, and make sure it respects you back as well. That's pretty important. That it has to be reciprocated.
Reciprocity.
My man.
Yes, sir.
That was number 2. I think number 2 said always go back to those butterflies, to what got you there.
Okay.
You know, that's always a self-reflection that you need to go to, because you did a lot of things to get that person. You know, it's not just about looking for that person to do all of the things.
Right.
You got all these expectations when things are down or low or whatever, but you might have to be that initiator. You might have to be that asserter.
Indeed.
That's okay. Step your game up, ladies.
Indeed.
Expect a lot from our men.
I met this woman on Tinder. You think I was looking for love? Nope.
Looking for love.
I was not looking for love that night. Somebody swiped right, and I said, "Oh shit." You know what I mean? So, but you never.
I mean, and you know,
That's
look
the
who you're
attraction.
talking to. We met in a nightclub, and these are things that, you know,
Right.
people that, you know, frequent these spaces say never happened, shouldn't happen, won't happen, can't happen. But these things happen. So I think it's all about people. That's why we wave our flag on consciousness, because when you're conscious, it eliminates a lot of excuses for a lot of stuff. You can't, you know, use plausible deniability. You can't, you know, make up realities. You can't exist in your own head, because you know consciously that other people exist around you. This is a world that you're in. There's laws and there's rules and there's hierarchies and structures, and you understand these things. And that's what consciousness is. So we wave our flag on Tuesdays on conscious parenting. And inside of that parenting is our relationship with each other. So we hope that people would concentrate on their relationship, use some of these tips and strategies if you need to. Reach out to me and the missus if you need to.
Please.
Promote consciousparenting@gmail.com. You guys are aware of all the things that we do out here. If not, we won't be shy to tell you. The missus is in the streets heavy with coaching, techniques, strategies. The village coming up in late March. Any of the young ladies that want to participate actually or virtually, feel free.
Any sponsors?
And ASL is up and running. You guys can donate to any of these causes hitting the Cash App. Y'all know the information. Harris Tribe 718. Harris Tribe 718.
She said.
You can just put in the memo whatever you sponsor.
Sponsor support.
Yeah, but sis, I'm trying to learn the American Sign Language.
Come on now.
Like I know how to do the letters and shit. How to spell words. No, like I don't know how to do that. working with all these Mexicans, I've learned. I knew Spanish from like school, but just the shit, you know what I'm saying. But I'm like, I ain't gonna say I'm fluent in Spanish, but you niggas can't call me no nigga in Spanish and think I won't know. Like the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I was thinking about the sign language, you know, would like to learn that.
Okay.
If, you know, you willing to teach it, I will learn it.
Oh,
absolutely.
of course,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do something virtual for you, brother. We set up something virtual. We get Madison, get maybe, you know, get somebody else involved. Anybody that wants to get down, you just let them know. And we get it going, man. You know, you guys are awesome over there. So keep doing what you do, man.
Instead of the karaoke night, it could be an ASL night at the house. Just put us on the big screen.
Come on, Sarah. She said we met at Taboo up here in
2004. And here we are. 20 years, baby.
20
Okay.
years. Shout out to y'all.
Taboo.
That's right. It is.
I saw y'all over there. We saw them.
It's love in the club, man.
Found in love in the club.
It's love in the club. So, y'all have a good week. I don't know what's going on this Saturday for me. I may be on location. I got some things going on. So my time may be a little constricted. Mrs., what you doing Sunday?
I don't know. Keep you posted.
Okay.
You'll see something up or not.
When is the grand opening in New York?
We putting all of that together now. So, you know, we will, you know, let you know and keep you posted on what's going on. But now we still, you know, constructing everything and getting everything nice and pretty. So let's see what happens, man. I'll definitely keep you posted. Going on, brother. You all right over there, man? How you doing?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you. Bo
oh, no. What the fuck, motherfucker? I've been here the last 45 minutes. You know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. And I'm happy.
Yes.
That's what's up.
My wife's happy. My kids happy. Well, 2 out of 3.
That ain't bad.
I will call you tomorrow and we can talk offline. Like, I want to share it now, but I'm not that comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
talk offline.
You know what I'm saying? But it's some shit going on with that little girl.
Okay. We talk offline. We get something going.
Yeah, on that PCP,
you know, we
baby.
Got you. Yep, whatever you need.
Right. Parenting, man, get down with the program.
Just holler at me. I got you. Don't even worry about it. We got you covered.
We love you, man.
Yo, we love you, bro. Have a great week, man, and we see you soon, man. You know the door's always open for you. You know that. Y'all show our brothers some love, man. Oz Blicky on the check. Peace. So, that's another Tuesday in the books, Mrs. You know, nothing that was super, you know, curated or anything. I just wanted to reflect on a couple of those cards, man, because this page is amazing. Very inspirational. The quote _nature on Instagram is where I got all of that information that we were discussing.
Yeah.
And what did you think about, you know, those quotes, just the different, you know, strategies and tips for a couple in the different stages as well? And that's what I liked about it, is that it had in the different stages inspiration on things to talk about before we get together, things that we can work on while we together to keep the spark alive. And even if things don't work out, things that we need to do for ourselves daily that can make us better people. So if it's for the next person, if it's going back to get your old thing back, who knows what the fuck? But
you don't want to leave anything with a whole bunch of
better.
bitterness and jadedness, you know, in your space, especially hate. Like those are energies you don't want to keep carrying around. So, you know, finding tools, tips, and strategies to work through life's roller coaster, I mean, is the best thing. You know, we don't know it all. When we get out our own fucking way, we can figure out more things and learn understanding, you know.
True indeed.
Things would be better
True
for
indeed.
us, you know, family and us together.
So that's what I was thinking. And, you know, again, that clip that clip is going to be viral. That who the fuck did I marry?
Oh yeah,
that's going to be talked about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I thought it was a lot in there that's indicative of relationships, indicative of where we are as a society. The plausible deniability, the naivety, just the lack of knowledge and the lack of thirst for knowledge, the lack of consciousness, the lack of thirst for
and to
consciousness.
be okay with it.
And for it to be fine. You put up a video where the young lady said these kids don't read. These kids can't spell. They put, BCUZ and don't even realize what they're doing.
Right.
And that's what I want to focus on. When we don't even realize how serious it is, the way we're acting, the way we're not thinking, the way we're behaving. And we think that we're going to get a positive outcome in the future if we continue to just sit idly by and let people destroy,
mishandle themselves,
the community, our perception. Positive people. So many people give pushback to women like you, to men like me, to men and women of other spaces that speak about the way this behavior is deplorable, the way your ancestors would be ashamed. And we get called out. Why are you being so mean to them? Why no one asked them why they being so mean to positive, honorable, respectable people? It's puzzling. So I wanted to have a discussion today to bring relationships to the forefront of this, because people love to congregate in this space and say there is nobody making content about solutions. Everybody's talking about the same thing. All the men are leaders and go to bed, and all the women are nurturers and wake up. And it's more than that. It's more than that. It's a lot more conversation happening than that. So over here, depending on your need, we have the room for you. Conscious Parenting Tuesdays, Cerebral Saturdays, Shame Sundays. Check us out, man.
Village.
We fire. Mrs. I appreciate you hanging out with me.
You, sir. You're awesome, man. You rock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have an
Y'all be
amazing
kind to
week,
somebody.
man. That's right. Y'all
Besides
heard
your damn self.
Besides yourself. That's when real character shines through. See y'all out here in these YouTube streets. Peace to the gods and the earths.
Which one?